Good day to you all. Welcome to Luke's Top Tips, part 3. Just going to take my vitamins. Yeah, this one's going to be, I don't know why I chose to take these now. What am I doing? This one's going to be about Curtainsiders. Curtainsiders are, alright, wouldn't even made one, it's just a friend mentioned it. She got mentioned in the last video and now she's getting mentioned in this one. Leslie, the floozy that was out with Bertie. She corrupted him. He's not been the same since. Have you, Bertie? So, she mentioned that she's only ever done fridges and she wouldn't even know where to start with a Curtainsider, so I thought, fine, I'll make a video. That's my answer to everything. Would you like a cup of tea? I'll make a video! So, yeah, Curtainsiders. Right, I know, okay, I can't cover every Curtainsider that's ever been conceived. On Trucknet, somebody mentioned that I didn't cover rigid fridges. Well, I don't have any rigid fridges to hand. This is my hobby. It's not like I go around hiring trucks to make videos. So the main two that you'll probably see are Schmitz, if I can get hold of one, and SDC. We don't really have anything else. Schmitz Curtainsiders are absolutely awful things. I despise them. And SDC are one of the best, in my opinion. In my opinion. So yeah, I'll do the two types that I know of. Most of them is pretty much the same. It's sort of similar principles, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm just running up to Quick Glass in Elton now. And thenceforth, onward and heaven forfend, I will show you how to go about it. And I do help you find some help, assistance in the future. Whether you drive the Curtainsider or whether you apply these principles of how to operate a Curtainsider to your home life. Opening and closing the curtains, using the shower curtain, strapping down the dog, tying the wife to the bed. So, there's a tanker tailgating me. Why do people like tailgating so much these days? Tailgaters really get on my tits. That is all. Goodbye. Right, so this Euroliner, SDC Euroliner sliding roof. So to open the roof on these, you have to have both doors open because the catches. Middle, a bar, push the roof up here, and then there's a little wire here, 4 catches. They're not always done. Back. Let me just move the camera back a bit so you can see it. Hello. Just yank it like this. And that's what happens. And then if you look up there, you've got the same catches as at the back, these little bits here. So just slide it back and it will slot in there and lock. To shut it again, here's a little tip. You need to go at it quite rapidly to get it to flop down. Look. People have got many queen glass, they'll be wondering what to do. They just have to go. There we go. And that is that. That's basically the Euroliner. Simple as that. Curtainsiders are quite simple. Now I'm going to show you
an SDC and the straps on the outside. Good. Right, so like the sliding roof, this is an SDC. They have a ratchet strap at the front. That's fairly obvious. Pull out. What these are, look, you've got that little catch down. You've got the ratchet to do it out. But to undo it, you pull the bottom one, and the ratchet like to do. Pull that out, and then that lifts off. It's got a little, what do they call them? Downing pin just there. You lift that out. When you have these, one of the little things that Nolan's always taught me, I got some good habits from Nolan's, weirdly enough. Always make sure the curtain's tucked in at the top, because a lot of people don't seem to care, but it means water gets inside the load. So you need to make sure the curtain's all tucked in. Let me just do that in now. Let me see if I can show you. So what you do like this is make sure it's all tucked in. So you just pull it out like that. There we are. Just make sure, there we go. Okay. Thusly, pop that back in like that and ratchet it up. Another thing with these is a lot of these can get bent, or sometimes they have long ones, and the airlines can get tangled around it, so you've got to keep an eye on that, especially if you do U-turns with some Curtainsiders. They're always catching out airlines, popular airlines. Another thing is make sure you don't ratchet it too much. You need to wind it up at the back, I'll show you now, otherwise it covers up that little corner light. So I'll take you to the back and show you that now. So on the back of these SDCs, basically you just have this, it's just a spinny round thing. You need to give it a couple of turns. This is quite old now, so the little marker's gone, but normally when they're new, there's the white mark down there, look. Normally when they have a mark on the curtain, it's probably behind that repair. And you just line the marks up. That's so the front doesn't get too tangled up. Same again, make sure it's tucked in up the top. Otherwise water can get in and drench the load, and then you've got unhappy customers. I've got a Schmitz after this, so I can show you how to undo and do up a Schmitz. One of my pet hates with Curtainsiders is baggy curtains and them not being tucked in. You'll see there, so you tuck them in, but you'll see, there's a good one, if you leave them untucked, they flap around in the wind, and you can see they get all torn, and eventually they end up just disintegrating. So in my opinion, I'm sure somebody will disagree with me, it's good practice to always tuck the straps in. Apart from anything else, it looks tidy, and I also quite like tight curtains. Boom. So there we go. Now I'm going to drop this trailer, pick up a loaded one, and head back down to course. Onward! Another good practice with Curtainsiders is they've got internal straps which aren't really much use for anything. Nothing heavy anyway. But this isn't really a load security video, so I'm not going to show you much about that. But it's tidy them away. So you either have, this has got both, bags in the back, so you can tidy them up into these bags here, look. And put them in there so that when the doors open, they open with the doors, and you can back onto a bay. Or they have a little place up the front here, look. As you can see, some in there now. The reason for that is, if you leave them out, forklift drivers being what they are, they don't give a shit about running them over and stuff, and they get all bent. Is there any bent ones? Oh yeah, look, they just get all bent and manky and unserviceable. So always tidy them away. And the reason I'm not tidying them away now is this is in Quinn Glass. They'll be using these straps to load it now, so there's no point. So yeah, especially if you're going to be backing onto a bay. Well, there we are, look, there's some mangled ones down there. Yeah, so just tidy up the straps. In case anybody's wondering, these are airbags. You fill them up with air and put them on the back, close the doors with them in place so they stop the load falling backwards. Quite nifty, I'd never come across them before I started doing the bottles at Quinn. So I'm going to pick up the other trailer now. Right, so this is a roof support. These SDC ones, you pull them out like, and they slide back and forward. And to put them back in again, make sure that's clipped. Lock that in there, and then it clips in the top here like that. There's lots of different types. Can't cover them all. Some of them are bolted, fixed, so it's like that, and then it goes up and it just swings out. Then you put the pallet in. These are the best because you've got to be careful that the pallet isn't too far out, otherwise you can't push it in. Another of Luke's top tips is you get a lot of drivers get the forklifts to push them in. Don't do that because it just bends them and knackers them and ruins them. So if you can't get them in by hand, get the forklift driver to move the pallet. Hello. Right, so this is the Schmitz. On the front it's the same principle as the SDC with the 2 bars and the ratchet, but most Schmitz trailers seem to be completely different to each other. On the back, it's got the same principle. It's not a dowel in a round square, it's a square on this one. So you just line it up in the square, same again. Make sure it's curtains tucked in the top. And this is a little, so you tighten the curtains up. This is very stiff. By turning this, so that's loosening it up, they're tightened up already. So you loosen it like that, and then you tighten it up like that. If you want to pull the bar out, make sure the curtains are untightened all the way, otherwise they won't lift out properly. And that's tightened up. Basically it really. One of the reasons I hate Schmitz trailers is they tuck the curtain in underneath the strap on the sides. So, it's horrible. It's forever. It's the forever side. One quick thing I didn't cover, to lengthen or shorten the straps. So say you want to make this bit longer, just do that. And pull on this bit, now make it longer, to tighten it up, pull on that bit, pull on that bit, and it's tight. Hey presto. I'm going to have a cup of tea now. Would you like one? So, I hope you found that little bit of Curtainsider gems of information useful. While I was parked up on a break, I was just reading some TruckNet stuff, and there's a young lad on there who had a job lined up to drive Arctics, but it's obviously fallen through for whatever reason at all. But it makes you realise, you know, a lot of drivers moan and they groan and nothing's ever good enough and everything's shit. But there are a lot of people out there. This is one of the reasons I'm always happy, because I know what I do is good. I love it. There are a lot of people out there that would give anything to be sat in this seat right now, or on the seat of any Arctic. I'm not saying my job is the best in the world, but I mean just be driving an Arctic down the road, basically. So don't take it for granted if you are doing it. That's my advice. So I'm just going to tootle on down to cause now. You know what I mean? Even though this is a big crap, this work, but I still enjoy driving and plodding up and down and looking at the horses in the field, potato horses, and so on and so forth. And like I say, there's people who would kill for this. So be happy, is my advice. Be happy with what you have. Doesn't mean you shouldn't strive for more. Make the most of what you have now. Wise words, I think you'll agree. God, I'm so wise. Wise, charming, devilishly handsome. Good God, I'm amazing. And you watch, somebody will take that seriously now. Right, okay, so this is the wireless. Oh, Django. This is Luke's top musical tip. Get a bit of Django in your life.
I saw them live, they were brilliant. £7 the ticket cost me. Leaves me stranded in the middle lane now. I'm going to go insane!
Right, so here's an interesting curtainsider. I've never used one of these, but I know the principles of it. It's buckleless. So you get these little doodles, and apparently you clip them all over that wire there like that. I think you have to obviously loosen the wire first. So they all clip in under that wire. And then you press the button and it tightens up. And these appear to be the buttons here. So, yeah, it's quite a good idea that. So you clip them all in, so they're all clipped in, press the button and it tightens everything up. It's got the same sort of buckles, the same ratchets on the front and the back. Obviously it works on the same principle in that respect, but then you got these. So yeah, who makes this one? Dunbar. So that's pretty nifty. I like that.